Hey geeks. So you've seen Raiders and you've seen Aliens. You've seen Star Wars and Star Warriors. You may have even had Close Encounters. But have you seen War of the Worlds? Not the Tom Cruise one, and not the best one from the 50s. Who was in that? Was that Claude Rains? The internet is abuzz with the latest War of the Worlds movie on Amazon Prime, starring Ice Cube. And I'm going to read you a review from RogerEbert.com. God bless his soul. I don't know who writes the reviews on RogerEbert.com anymore, but it ain't Roger Ebert. Although it could be. Maybe they created an AI of Roger Ebert, and now he's writing reviews. If you don't know, War of the Worlds stars Ice Cube, and it's on Amazon Prime right now. It debuted at number one as far as streaming movies goes, with a 0% Rotten Tomatoes rate. Although I did check, and that's creeped up to a 3% Rotten Tomatoes score. So there's some people out there. They might be giving it a sympathy, uh, you know, a sympathy ranking or something. I don't know how the system works on Rotten Tomatoes. Um, I guess you just click that you like the movie or something and they tabulate it. I don't know. I don't know how the statistical algorithm works for the reviews, but the critic score is still 0%. Anyway, idea of what this movie is about. Essentially, it's Ice Cube in a cardigan with a headset sipping coffee while he watches the alien invasion unfold on his laptop. That's it. That's the movie. There are more stories every day about AI becoming powerful enough to create entire pieces of filmmaking. Want to see a fourth Back to the Future movie? You may soon be able to give AI a prompt to make it for you. I mention this because I'm not sure how different an AI version of Ice Cube stars in a screen life version of War of the Worlds would be from the current smash hit on Amazon Prime, because I refuse to believe actual human beings were involved in most of this nonsense. Prime Video's War of the Worlds has become an interesting cultural item in the summer of 2025 as the most hate watched thing in years, notching an amazing 1.0 on Letterboxd and a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. It has nonetheless become one of the most watched original films on the streaming service, proving yet again that there's no such thing as bad publicity. Naturally, we had to check it out. Is it really that bad? It sure is. Not only ineptly made in every category that a critic could consider, but also truly morally icky, constantly promoting Amazon while telling a story of world powers uniting against what is basically an interstellar data breach. Worst of all, it's only rarely even stupid fun, which was the hope of this critic who has seen every Sharknado movie and chuckles at memories of Mansquito. Mansquito was awesome. I highly recommend Mansquito. Damn, that's a deep cut. He's pulling out the Wayback Machine deep cuts. Mansquito was like early 2000s, I think, maybe even late 90s on Sci-Fi. That's when Sci-Fi was good. The old Sci-Fi channel. That was before streaming. It's when cable ruled. Anyway, the reviewer continues. Give me a silly movie that knows it's dumb on a hot summer day every year. This isn't that. It's so much dumber than it thinks it is. What's somewhat fascinating about War of the Worlds is that awful movies are often doomed from day one with pitches that never should have been accepted by someone with control over a budget. But in Unfriended, movie title, or Searching, another movie, take on War of the Worlds isn't actually a horrible idea. We've become so attached to our screens, how would the end of the world play out on them? That's the basic starting point for the script by Kenneth A. Gold and Mark Hyman, one that centers Department of Homeland Security officer Will Radford, played by Ice Cube, who I believe shot this on a Zoom call over a single weekend, if even that long, who mans a government surveillance program that he mostly uses to spy on his kids. The troublemaker, Dave, played by Henry Hunter Hall, and his pregnant daughter, Faith Iman Benson. Eva Longoria plays Will's NASA friend. Clark Gregg is the director of the Department of Homeland Security, and Andrea Savage is an FBI agent. How did Clark Gregg get dragged into this, along with Eva Longoria? Man, for man, just put Clark Gregg in like the Avengers movie coming up. He is still an agent of Shield, isn't he? I say this before I read the next sentence. They all need to have serious talks with their agents. War of the Worlds starts much like the H.G. Wells classic when alien vessels crash on Earth. All of it seen through Will's computer screen that is also often shooting him for no unexplained reason. One major drawback is that Cube is so clearly not in a physical space that anyone considered with a generic VFX office behind him that looks like a Zoom background. While we're on VFX, visual effects, there are numerous shots of Cube's glasses reflecting the green screen of whatever he's looking at that was never filled in. See the reflection in my glasses now? That's no green screen. That's actually the my laptop and the window beyond me in this room. No green no green screen here. I'm not running any VFX here. This is all real. To say the effects of this thing are atrocious would be an understatement. Some of those aforementioned sci-fi originals looked better, significantly, and they didn't spend a lot of money on those. The entire midsection of War of the Worlds consists of Ice Cube staring at a screen and muttering things like, "Oh my God," as director Rich Lee and his editor cut on every word. Will Asides becomes most of the B movie appeal of this flick, the only bits of entertainment to be found. My favorite is when a news report can be heard that ends with the line, "Why they are here," that's followed by a half hearted, "What the hell do they want?" from the rap icon. Man, what happened to Ice Cube, man? Thought he was supposed to be like scary, like gangster. Where does where does one begin with the logical leaps of War of the Worlds? There are too many inconsistencies to count, but one is foundational in that screen life films are typically real time. It's kind of the only way to do it. To say that War of the Worlds messes with the timeline only scratches the surface. The action around the globe, that is literally called War of the Worlds in a movie that loves to say its own title, clearly unfolds over days while Will wears the same outfit and his kids are in the same place. If there was ever a continuity person on set, they truly should be interviewed. I have some questions. To be honest, War of the Worlds is mostly just poorly made until the film reveals the motives of the aliens to steal the planet's data. Are you fucking kidding me? Why the why what you're telling me an advanced spacefaring civilization wants to come down here to hack our credit card data and our social media feeds? For what purpose? What 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 advantage could our data possibly supply to beings that can travel amongst the stars? I mean, harvesting us for our organs would probably be like a more plausible scenario. I mean, just saying. I lost my play. Yeah, yeah, here we go. There's something that feels pretty morally bankrupt about a company that has so much of the world's personal information making a promo piece about how they're going to protect it all from invaders. Is this predictive programming? This might be predictive programming. If you're not familiar with that term, um, search term it. Do an internet search. Someone actually says our most precious resource on earth is data. Oh, really, corporate technology overlords? You. And that feeling continues as one of the heroes is an actual Amazon. You can't make this shit up. one of one of the heroes is an actual Amazon delivery person who uses a Prime. Get the fuck out of here. Did Bezos sat down and wrote this movie, didn't he? Probably got some help from his wife. Where I lost my place again. I, that, I got to reread that sentence. And that feeling continues as one of the heroes is an actual Amazon delivery person who uses a Prime drone, the future of delivery, to save the day. He actually orders something on Amazon in the climax of the film to initiate the plan. Don't worry, Prime subscribers. We're not just getting you stuff in record time. We're going to protect you from all imaginable threats if you use our products of the future again. What? How shameless can you be, man? How shameless. Okay, what else do we got here? These reviews are great. This looks like it might be a good one. War of the Worlds review, a low budget, high concept misfire. That's probably giving it too much credit, but we'll see here. If you ever found if you ever found yourself begging for an adaptation of H.G. Wells' classic sci-fi thriller that takes place entirely through a computer screen, then first get your head examined. Then head on over to Prime Video, where your bizarrely specific wish has been granted. War of the Worlds is a film that dares to ask, what if a planet-wide alien invasion was just a series of awkward video chats? The answer, it turns out, is watching Ice Cube gawk around his office in front of a green screen for 90 minutes. Sounds like. Talk about working from home, man. No wonder they want you to return to the office. War of the Worlds follows Will Radford, Ice Cube, as the world's most intrusive surveillance man at the Department of Homeland Security. He begins his day like any other, logging into his various software, logging security threats to government buildings, and spying on his daughter's every move. It's meant to be endearing and show him to be a protective father, but honestly, this guy seems like a bit of a creep. Radford's life isn't all that great. His wife died years ago. His daughter resents him and hasn't told him about her baby shower. Her baby daddy is a loser, and his son is a deadbeat gamer. No stereotypes there. As Will makes his way through his morning, hopping on various Zoom calls and performing outrageous feats of hacking capability, We bop and weave throughout his computer at a frenetic pace, which coalesces in a string of asteroids hitting the planet. I'm wondering if they have those little special effects where all the like code is like and all the little ones and zeros and all the ridiculous, meaningless syntax. And he's like, "Oh, I just hacked into the Defense Department mainframe and found the plans for the lasers that are going to kill the aliens or protect our data. But I couldn't get it through AWS because they're solid. You can't hack AWS." While the world freaks out, Will spends his time protecting his family, remotely commandeering a Tesla to escort his daughter to safety, and activating every camera to direct his son around the city. It takes him a remarkable amount of time before he begins his duty as a government employee. What initially appears to be an asteroid attack is far worse. Horrible CGI monsters. You see, the suits behind War of the Worlds wanted to make a grand blockbuster, but clearly couldn't spare any expense to make it happen. I've found the screen life form of film to be a mighty effective way of storytelling when in the hands of competent filmmakers. Anish Shanganti and Sev Ohanian figured this out with Searching and Missing, two excellent thrillers. In War of the Worlds, it seems like Amazon wanted a big budget thriller but realized they only had $1 million to make it happen. Hate it when that happens. Naturally, the result is that almost every scene looks like utter garbage. You could find 100 YouTubers whose visual effects far eclipse the CGI contained within this film. I lied. This is completely green screen behind me. It's very expensive. The best part of the visuals is that they're so terrible that they cross the line of so bad it's good. Of course, we get a corny montage celebrating America collaborating with Russia and China in an unprecedented display of humanity's resistance as the world tries to contain the alien forces. Because if this movie has anything to say, it has to be through some empty cliche. Oh, they rhymed. Dude's been taking lessons from Ice Cube. The aliens in this adaptation feed on data, whatever that means. They're eating our data, one hacker explains after a series of buzzy cuts and glitches that signify that data is being eaten. They're eating our data. They're eating our data. I'm a 21-year-old college student, and this film makes me feel like I'm an 80-year-old watching my grandson's TikTok page. My grandson's TikTok page. While watching this, the most prominent thought you'll have is, what the hell is happening? I have that thought all the time. With any screen life film, the bulk of the work is done in the edit, leading to short production times. If you told me that the production for this was done in a day or two, I'd believe you. Ice Cube is completely aimless, muttering at his computer and reacting to everything like a complete moron would. Naturally, the poor editor tasked with saving this film has crafted something so bizarre and over the top that it's rather fun to watch. If you saw this while drunk with friends, it would be easy to laugh at the stupidity of it all. At one point, who says you got to be drunk to laugh? it's I'm quite certain it's hilarious sober, which I am about to find out. At one point, the film employs a dolly zoom, but obviously, what the director ritually does instead of an in camera effect is zoom in on Ice Cube as he shrinks in the background. Is War of the Worlds worth watching? There's a point near the end where Will needs a thumb drive ASAP. What's the only solution? With the support of Amazon.com, the brand spanking new Prime Air delivery service, the day is saved. It was at this point that I checked out of the film completely. Oh, at that point? That's apparently near the end, dude. You probably should have checked out in the first, like, before the opening title credits ran. That's just me, though. When a film jumps the shark this hard, do you think the creatives behind it realize this? Make no mistake, War of the Worlds sucks, but there certainly must be some merit in a film with as many hilariously stupid moments as this has. The social commentary is terrible, the performances are confused, and the visuals are dreadful. But if you're going to make a stupidly if you're going to make a dreadfully stupid film, at least keep it short and sort of in on the joke. That review was on Fandom Wire by Cole Groff. The first review I read was by Brian Tallarico at RogerEbert.com. Those are all professional reviewers. Just wondering if there's some audience. Here's an audience review, real quick one. I did not think it was a horrible. Okay, let's back up. This person gave it 3.5 out of 4 stars. 3.5 out of 4 stars. I did not think it was a horrible movie. They just took a more personal relationship look and update the idea with data eating bugs. You just have to think about a different you just have to think about a different way to enjoy it rather than comparing it to other versions. Nobody's comparing it to the other versions. It's sucking on its own merits. Um, I was wrong. It has a 3% critics score. It has a 21% audience score, which typically the audience score is a little higher than the critics score. So, but still, 21%. Y'all need to get your heads checked or something. I don't know. Anyway, I just wanted to have a little fun with that. A little levity. There's too much tension out there. Everybody's all like Superman, Fantastic Four. They're all gonna bomb. Blah. Meanwhile, War of the Worlds might be the most memorable film of the year. I I doubt it. It'll have its 15 minutes of fame, and then that'll be that. Anyway, that's all for today. Something a little different. Don't worry, comic book content is coming. Probably more than you can handle. Till the next one. I'm trying to think of something clever to say. Go watch War of the Worlds. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go watch War of the Worlds. Till the next one, stay geek.